Rookie out of Baylor, number 2 in that beautiful seafoam green jersey. Committing the foul, Sophie Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham did not walk into that arena thinking she was about to change the conversation around women's basketball. She was just another player stepping onto the court, wearing her seafoam green jersey, ready to do her job. But sometimes a single moment turns into something much bigger than anyone expects. That night, one foul, one ignored call, and one decision to speak up set off a chain reaction that the WNBA never saw coming. It started during a game against the Connecticut Sun. Sophie was doing what she always did, playing tough defense, moving without the ball, setting screens, and bringing energy off the bench. She was not chasing highlights. She was doing the quiet work that wins games. Then suddenly everything changed. Sophie took a hard hit straight to the head. It was not subtle. It was not accidental. It was the kind of contact that every fan in the building could see was wrong. Cameras caught it. Players reacted. But the whistle never came. No foul. No stoppage. Nothing. Before Sophie could even process what happened, it got worse. Moments later, another opponent grabbed her around the neck. Again, it was obvious. Again, everyone saw it. And again, the referees did nothing. At that point, it stopped being about basketball. It became about safety. No player should be hit in the head and grabbed by the neck without protection from officials. That is not part of the game. That is not toughness. That is negligence. After the final buzzer, Sophie and Caitlin Clark walked over to the referee. They were not screaming. They were not causing a scene. They just wanted to talk. They wanted to understand why 2 dangerous plays were ignored. What happened next shocked everyone who saw it. The referee would not even look at them. He turned his head away. He stepped aside. Sophie tapped his arm, trying to get his attention. He ignored her. Caitlin stood there waiting. Still nothing. It was like they did not exist. In professional basketball, players and referees speak all the time. They disagree, sure, but there is mutual respect. That moment showed none. It was not just dismissive. It was humiliating. Sophie left the court feeling angry, unheard, and unsafe. And unlike many athletes who swallow that feeling because they fear punishment, Sophie decided she was done staying quiet. Later that night, she opened TikTok. She spoke directly to the camera and said what so many fans had been thinking for years. The referees were slow. They missed calls. They failed to protect players. She did not sugarcoat anything. The video exploded. Within hours, hundreds of thousands of people had watched it. Then it crossed 1 million. Fans flooded the comments saying she was brave, saying she was right, saying they had seen the same thing over and over. Sports media picked it up. Talk shows discussed it. The league suddenly had a public problem. Instead of listening, the WNBA did what big organizations often do when someone challenges them. They punished her. They fined Sophie $5,000. The message was clear. Speak out and you will pay. But Sophie did not apologize. She laughed. She knew something the league did not understand. In today's world, attention is power. And she already had it. At her next game, Sophie walked into the arena wearing a white t-shirt with bold red letters. Hot girls eat Arby's. It was funny. It was unexpected. It was perfect. The internet went wild. People shared the photo everywhere. Arby's jumped in and praised her. Fans called her a legend. The shirt sold out almost immediately. By the next day, hundreds of thousands had been ordered. In less than 24 hours, the shirt made around $800,000. The WNBA did not get a single dollar. Sophie had turned a $5,000 fine into a massive business win. But more importantly, she had shown every player something powerful. The league does not control your voice anymore. Her TikTok following jumped from around 300,000 to over 1.7 million. Her jersey sales passed Caitlin Clark's, which no one ever expected. Not because Sophie was a bigger star on the court, but because people connected with her courage. Fans saw Sophie as Caitlin's protector, the teammate who took hits and spoke up when things were unfair. She became a symbol of something bigger than basketball. She became the face of players refusing to stay silent. Then something even stranger happened. Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, publicly offered Sophie a role in women's wrestling. She called her the enforcer women's sports needed. Sophie was no longer just a basketball player. She was a personality, a brand, a story people wanted to follow. Sponsors noticed. Deals started coming in. Even players who had their own complicated relationships with Caitlin Clark showed support. The league's attempt to scare Sophie had done the opposite. It had inspired everyone else. Behind the scenes, WNBA leaders were panicking. They talked about banning branded clothing, not fixing referees, not listening to players, just more rules. Sophie responded by posting a photo wearing a gold chain that said 5K Fine Club, while holding an Arby's burger. She was not just speaking anymore. She was winning. The bigger truth was impossible to ignore. The league had spent years trying to control its players instead of connecting with them. Social media changed everything. Fans want honesty. They want real people. Sophie gave them that. She did not become powerful because she scored points. She became powerful because she spoke the truth when it was uncomfortable. And that scared the people who thought they were in charge. Now the question is no longer whether Sophie crossed a line. The question is whether that line ever really belonged to the league at all. Because once players realize they do not need permission to be heard, everything changes. And women's basketball will never look the same again.